Literacy in Social Studies by Allison Kuchar. The boring and oversimplified definition of literacy as defined by a dictionary is the ability to read and write, or competence or knowledge in a specified area. Literacy Advance of Houston offers a more complete definition. They claim that literacy is the ability to read, write, speak, and listen, use numeracy and technology at a level that enables people to express and understand ideas and opinions, to make decisions and solve problems, to achieve their goals, and to participate fully in their community and in a wider society. They add that achieving literacy is a lifelong learning process. What is literacy in social studies? A short list includes reading, analyzing, critiquing, and understanding historical documents, articulating the ideas of oneself and others, creating arguments for a multitude of ideas and backing them up with evidence, as well as reading, analyzing, critiquing, and understanding non-text-centered documents such as maps. The National Council for the Social Studies has come up with this list of valuable skills that involve literacy in the social studies classroom. They include listening, reading, writing, and speaking with comprehension and clarity, defining and applying discipline-based conceptual vocabulary, locating, analyzing, critiquing, and using appropriate resources and data, articulating and constructing reasoned arguments from diverse perspectives and frames of reference, analyzing cause and effect relationships, as well as these other important aspects. Patrick Sprinkle, a social studies teacher at Bronx Collegiate Academy, offers some examples of strategies that can be used to embed literacy in a social studies classroom. Sprinkle states that reading and annotating the first few paragraphs of a written text with students will help them learn how they should think as they read. He asserts that annotation is a way of having a conversation with the text. This strategy also promotes the progression of being able to identify main ideas and supporting details. Sprinkle uses double entry journals as a way for students to make connections between what they are reading and other content or concepts they are already familiar with. The goal of a double entry journal is to give students a purpose for reading, therefore they aim to answer a question about the reading and provide evidence to support their claims. Having multiple writing prompts is a way for students to get their thoughts out in a way that works best for them. They are able to answer questions that are appropriate for them and their skill level. It is important to offer choice while still asking challenging questions that promote deep thinking. Think, Pair, Share is an activity where students can express their own ideas in writing, then share their ideas with a partner. Sprinkle states that this approach creates a more collaborative classroom, allows more voices to be heard, and exposes students to different perspectives while also encouraging a more student-centered classroom. A one-sentence interview is another collaborative and democracy-building activity where students can ask questions of their peers following a reading, as well as share their own ideas. Rather than write their thoughts, they are asked only to verbalize them, which may enhance their retention skills as they know they will be called on, therefore they need to have specific examples prepared. The previously mentioned strategies will help social studies students read between the lines and become more passionate about the content, rather than skip through the material just to get the assignment done and over with, which is unfortunately common among middle and high schoolers. Reading like a historian involves many skills. Reading and analyzing primary sources is, or at least should be, common in a social studies class. When reading any documents, we should be asking, who wrote it, why was it written, what is the author's point of view, when was it written, and is the source believable? Reading like a historian also involves using evidence to come to your own conclusions about an event or an idea. Reading and rereading text is likely essential for a better understanding of the content, particularly if the document was written long ago. Close reading is also important and can include taking notes in the margins and highlighting key information. History is everything that has happened in the past, therefore we have almost an unlimited amount of ways to look at or research any event or time period. For instance, in learning about the Civil War, students could read scholarly works, novels, governmental documents, personal diaries, personal correspondence, or news articles from the time. Students could also examine paintings and drawings done by the soldiers of the living conditions in battlefields. For a more hands-on approach, students could physically hold and manipulate artifacts such as ammunition, belt buckles, coat buttons, pipes, and many others. Students could also watch countless videos, both fact-based and story-based, on the war and its soldiers. These are some examples of options that do not include reading from a textbook. Allowing students the opportunity to learn and express themselves through multimodality and social studies ensures the greatest amount of accessibility for all students.